Most women are following the wrong approach to discipline as homemakers. Traditional models of rigid daily routines and willpower actually go against your natural feminine rhythms. I discovered this surprising truth when it comes to homemaking. Real consistency isn't about willpower, it's about honoring the physical and mental patterns that God designed for you. So, here are four hacks based on this truth that are going to bump your consistency up. Did you know that your productivity levels can vary by 40% depending on the natural ebb and flow of your hormones? Think about it like a garden. There's a time for planting, a time for growing, a time for harvesting, and a time for rest. You wouldn't expect to harvest during winter, so why do you expect peak productivity from yourself every single day? If you're cycling, your body naturally shifts to a lower energy state a few days before and the week after your period starts. This has been known by women for centuries. In fact, the Carmelite order, which is the oldest order of Catholic nuns starting before the time of Christ, has always allowed their sisters to miss their early morning prayers during the week of their period. So, this is not something new. This is your body's winter. It's like a bear hibernating. And it can be counterproductive to try and plan big projects during this time or to really push yourself. I like to do planning, organizing, I stay at home, and I don't go out a lot during this time. And then there's the 2 to 3 weeks after your period where your energy really revs up. This is the time to start new habits, new workout routines. Push yourself, wake up a little earlier, go to bed a little later. Definitely take advantage of this time. And if you're like me and you're not cycling, I'm breastfeeding, you might be pregnant, you might be menopausal. Track your energy levels throughout the month and just plan on giving yourself maybe one, probably two lower energy days a week where you focus on anchor tasks. I will talk more about those later. Three peak energy days a week, and then a couple of just days in between. I really find this is a good balance for myself. On my peak energy days, I do caffeine cycling, and these are actually the days when I drink caffeine. And I find that I am so productive on those days. If I have any big task, I can usually accomplish them in half the time and do them better than if I was just spreading them out throughout the week. Just like a garden needs both sunshine and rain, your productivity requires both intense focus and deliberate rest. Planning your work around these natural cycles isn't just more efficient, it's sustainable long term. And I believe it's the antidote to burnout culture. So, after 19 years and 8 kids, there's one thing I really wish I would have paid more attention to, and that is what I call anchor tasks. Anchor tasks are the things that have to get done every day, no matter what. They are the springboard for all your other habits. They are the pillars of your homemaking. And for most of us, these anchor tasks are pretty similar: waking up, going to sleep, feeding our family 3 times a day, maybe a couple other things. Now, I have found consistently that when these anchor tasks are neglected, I can't get anything else done. You really have to focus on these first, streamline them, make them as simple as possible, and then you can start adding on other tasks. For example, let's say that you want to start adding morning prayer to your daily routine. If you're not getting to bed at a regular hour and getting up at a proper time, and everything's just in chaos whenever you get up, there's no way that you're going to be able to add this other habit until you figure out how to make waking up very smooth. I really learned this lesson when our local grocery store burned down. The only other grocery store was a Walmart 45 minutes away, so I had to start meal planning and just having to be super specific about what we were going to eat and not having the opportunity to just run to the store improved my day in so many other ways. I had finally was getting that anchor task of 3 meals a day under control. So figure out your anchor task, look at them, see what might be sporadic about them, what needs to be fixed, focus on those, and then you can branch out into other homemaking habits, into laundry systems or cleaning routines. I think you'll have so much more success doing it that way. The next thing that really has to be looked at is your energy levels. Are you exhausted throughout the day, mentally, physically, emotionally? Usually for us mothers, it's a mix of all three. The top physical reason that most American women suffer from exhaustion is blood sugar dysregulation. And there's two ways to work on this. Firstly, you need to be eating enough protein. Secondly, when you are eating a carbohydrate, pairing it with a protein. So I thought I was getting enough protein. I was having a piece of toast and a couple eggs in the morning, but my blood sugar would still crash mid morning. Turns out that 2 eggs is only about 12 grams of protein, and we should be aiming for 30 grams of protein a meal. So that might be 4 ounces of turkey sausage, a cup of Greek yogurt and a couple of eggs, or a protein smoothie with a handful of nuts. You can Google it and find it out. But you will find that once you up your protein amounts, your energy is just going to increase drastically. And your blood sugar isn't only responsible for energy, it is responsible for your mood. Your mood tanks when your blood sugar drops, and it's responsible for your sleep. Sleep is a huge thing. A natural doctor once told me that low blood sugar was one of the biggest reasons for insomnia, when you're waking up in the middle of the night. I noticed a complete transformation when I was having 30 grams of protein with every meal. I went from needing multiple naps to maintaining steady energy from morning until bedtime. Imagine what your life would look like if you weren't fighting fatigue all day. Think about how much more present you could be with your family or how much more productive you'd be in the home. There are several other tactics you can use to cultivate a peaceful, steady energy, and I can help you with those in the free 7-day Christ centered reset for mothers. You can go from being overwhelmed, anxious, and tired to peaceful and productive, and all it takes is a few key changes. Please check out the link below after this video. Now, this next thing is one that everyone ignores, but I honestly think it's the most important. You can meal prep, you can meal plan, you can focus on your anchor task and be eating all the good foods. But if you have negative thoughts in your head, if there's a little voice inside you saying, you don't deserve this, you can't do this, you're not good enough, whatever negative thought it might be, you are already defeated. That is just a fact. And that's why we need to talk about rewiring with God's truth. I think in today's modern culture, with all the hustle, no time for reflection, constant distraction, everybody needs to be doing some brain rewiring. Did you know that negative thoughts literally increase cortisol levels in your body? This stress hormone disrupts your sleep, causes physical fatigue, and even triggers pain. Imagine trying to maintain discipline when your body is physically fighting against you because of what's happening in your mind. Here's the truth. You can want change, you can want discipline, you can want consistency with every fiber of your being. But if your thoughts are sabotaging you, it is not going to happen. There's 3 words to remember when you catch yourself thinking a negative thought: stop, notice, replace. Simply stopping your thoughts in your tracks and replacing them with a truthful thought and then turning to God rewires your brain for success. It's like doing little exercises for your brain, a mini workout, and eventually you become extremely strong, very resilient, and then you have the willpower to be consistent, to stay disciplined, and to conquer your negative habits. The moment I replaced my negative self talk with prayer and scripture based affirmations, I began to feel calmer, more energetic, and to my surprise, more consistent in sticking to good habits. The 3 a.m. anxiety attacks that I had been suffering from stopped. I started sleeping better. Everyone wants discipline, but the real difference isn't willpower, it's the thoughts we allow to take root in our minds. If you have a bad day, if your husband gets snappy with you, the toddlers break stuff, you're not going to spiral out of control. You can cultivate willpower that will give you the strength to push through temptation and fight destructive habits. You begin to hear Christ's voice now that the destructive noise is gone. So, the garden of life does not need forceful control. It needs a good gardener who understands the seasons, plants the right seeds, pulls the weeds of negative thoughts, cares for the soil, cares for the plants, and enjoys the process. It needs someone who is open to anything that God might send along that day. True discipline isn't rigid routines, it's aligning with your God given rhythms and embracing faithful flexibility. I'm Andrea, and I hope these truths will help you on your journey to be a faithful Christian homemaker. If you need practical help renewing your mind, body, and soul, please check out that free 7-day reset down below. I will see you in the next video.